Hello everybody and welcome. This is going to be part of a series of videos. I see a lot of people doing a lot of really dumb shit when it comes time to cut weight for MMA. In fact, this series of videos isn't just going to be about cutting weight. It's going to be about other dumb shit that I see people doing. Anyway, what I want to do is explain how you cut 20 pounds the right way before you go into a fight and gain it all back immediately following weigh-in. Because you see, here's the bottom line. Let's not kidding ourselves. Cutting weight sucks, but if you do it the right way, it can suck just a little bit less. Cutting weight is a fact of life if you want to be competitive. Let's face it, if you're 175 and you're going to cut to the 155 division, and then you can gain all of that back, you get to be competing at 175 against some dude who may only be 160. So it just gives you a competitive advantage. So cutting weight is a fact of life. If you cut weight wrong, it jacks up your stamina when you get to the fight, and you can end up losing by decision to an inferior opponent. If you do it right, you show up to your fight an absolute beast, and instead of having a fight end in frickin' decisions, which I cannot fucking stand, your fights get to end because you finish them. You take crap out of the hands of the judges. To me, that is the single most important thing. That is the number one thing that is the number one defining trait between a great fighter versus someone who's mediocre. It's the number of times that they finish a fight. So, I am going to assume that you know what the hell you're doing and you're monitoring your weight regularly and you are maintaining at roughly 20 pounds above the max weight class, the max weight for whatever class you want to fight in. If you're doing that and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and you're monitoring your weight so you know where you are and you're monitoring your diet so you're not, eating a bunch of garbage, then what the things I'm about to run you through are going to allow you to shed 20 pounds pretty easy. Well, it's cutting weight, so it's not easy, but it's not that bad. And gain it all back in a way that when you show up into the octagon, you're a beast. This is a 7-day plan. I do have a 24-day plan, a 24-hour plan. So if you follow the plan I'm about to give you in this video, this is by far the easiest way of doing it, the way that gives you the most energy when you're in the octagon, all that kind of good stuff. But if you screw up and you need a 24-hour plan, you can get both my 7-day plan and the 24-hour plan in a PDF so you can print the stuff out and look at it and make sure you're following it and all that kind of good stuff. You just have to go to bit.ly/cutting-weight. bit.ly/cutting-weight, and I'll give you guys a PDF file that has both of these plans, both how to do this in 7 days and how to do it in just 24 hours. Now, I'm going to say this one more time. Trying to shed 20 pounds in 24 hours really does suck balls, like bad. Right? It can be done, but it sucks, and you're not going to have anywhere near the same energy level as you will. If you follow this 7-day plan, you'll go into the octagon and be a freaking monster. Okay, that said, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. If you are going to do MMA at all, you should be seeing at least a sports med physician, right? This is one of the very few sports. This one in football is about it. Seriously, guys, freaking see a doctor, all right? And show this stuff to a doctor. You should not be doing this stuff without doctor supervision. Okay, disclaimers out of the way. Like I said, this is meant to be a 7-day plan. As I go through this, you're going to see day 7, day 6, day 5. Day 7 is the start, and I count down, and I'm counting down because I'm counting down to weigh-in. So day 7 starts the plan. Day 1 is the day before weigh-in, right? And then the day of weigh-in, you want to do your weigh-in as early as possible as you can possibly make it happen. If you follow this thing and you can step on a scale at 6 a.m. on weigh-in day or 8 a.m. on weigh-in day, no joke, the earlier you do it, the better, because the earlier weigh-in is, the sooner and more time you have to gain your weight back. And therefore, the more energy you're going to have stepping into the octagon. Now, one more thing. During this whole thing, during the 7 days that this is happening, no salt, no carbs, no creatine, no starches. I don't have that on the screen, but no starches either. That means no potatoes. That means no rice, not even brown rice, guys. All right? So no salt, no carbs, no creatine, no starches for the entire time you're cutting. While you're running through the 7-day process, none of those things. All three pull water into your cells, and water is what we're trying to get rid of. Now, the problem is that your protein powder probably has creatine in it. Anymore, very nearly all of them do. So it's probably a really safe bet to not even be taking your protein powder during the 7 days that you're cutting. Now, your diet during the 7 days needs to be extraordinarily heavy on green vegetables, like almost freaking vegetarian heavy. All right. And you want just a little bit of lean proteins. No salt, no fruit, no tomatoes, no potatoes, no rice, no starches of any kind. I know I'm beating this to death. You want to eat so many green leafy vegetables that you are feeling like you're going to turn into a freaking rabbit. The reason why is this stuff passes through your body really, really fast. It leans you up really, really fast. If there is excess fat that your body is trying to shed, eating this way will do it, and it will do it quick. All right. So, one more time, very heavy on green vegetables, especially the leafy greens. Things like spinach, cabbage, freaking kale. You guys know what the leafy greens are, I hope. All right. That said, let's start this thing. On day 7, you're going to start by drinking 2 gallons of water throughout the whole day. Obviously, it's not all at once. And throughout the day, you need to drink a quart of coconut water. I know those numbers are very high. They are deliberately very high. What we're doing is we're getting your body to go, holy crap, there's so much water here, I have to get rid of it. All right? The coconut water is also going to start helping you get rid of crap that's sitting in your intestinal tract. Okay? You need to eat an entire head of raw cabbage. Okay? At some point during the day, you want to mix in a tablespoon of epsom salt. Not at some point, at the end of the day. I'm sorry, that EOD right there, that means end of day. Tablespoon of Epsom salt in 8 ounces of water. Drink that crap as fast as possible. No joke. Really, really, you need to like guzzle this 8 ounces of water and tablespoon of Epsom salt. Yes, it tastes like shit. Right? I'm not going to frickin' mince words. It does taste like shit. But what it does is it's another one of those things that helps move crap in your intestinal tract. Okay? 2 cups when you wake up and when you go to bed of plain Greek yogurt. Not vanilla, not frickin' strawberry banana. No, plain Greek yogurt. I personally like Fage the most. It's actually spelled F-A-G-E. It is a little bit more expensive, but it also just tastes a little bit better and makes going through some of this crap a little bit easier. Also, 2 times during the day, you need to do a tablespoon of organic apple cider vinegar, a tablespoon of olive oil, a tablespoon of blackstrap molasses, and a tablespoon of gel from an aloe plant. Now, an aloe plant looks like a cactus sort of thing. You just want to break off one of the stems and literally squeeze the crap out of the middle of it and eat it. Right? You stick it on a spoon, you stick it in your mouth, you swallow it. All of those things need to be done twice during the day. You do not do any of them at the same time. So, it's like 10 a.m., noon, 2 a.m., 4 p.m., 6 p.m. You see what I'm getting at? Basically, every 2 hours, you should be doing one of these things. Once again, all of these things, they're very natural diuretics, and they'll basically get the junk that's in your intestinal tract moving without causing distress, without basically freaking out your body and causing you to lose energy because your stomach is cramping up and crap. Day 6, basically you're going to do the exact same thing. If you notice, day 6, day 7, I'm sitting here bouncing these 2 back and forth, and the only thing that's changing is the day. Day 6 and day 7 are basically repeats of each other. It's a lot of water, it's a lot of cabbage. You're going to do the Epsom salt, the yogurt, blah, blah, blah. We already talked about it. Like I said, this thing is to get your intestinal tract like moving big time. All right. Day 5. Notice that we are kind of back in the same situation. Day 6 and day 5 look very much the same, right? 2 gallons of water, coconut. So what we have is 3 days where you are going to be sucking down a shit ton of water, right? Yes, I know 2 gallons of water in a day is a lot of damn water. You're going to be really glad that it's like that because, like I said, by having 3 days of 2 gallons, 2 gallons, 2 gallons, right? Like I said, you're really putting your body into a situation of getting your body to go, I need to be getting rid of water, right? So what we're doing is we're setting this thing up so that way you're never in a frickin' sweatsuit. And I'm talking, you know what I mean? I don't mean just a regular sweatpants. I'm talking about a sweating suit. You're never going to have to get into a sauna. You're never going to have to freeze your frickin' ass off in an Epsom salt ice bath, right? These things will get your body to just naturally dump out the water, naturally get rid of everything in your intestinal tract. And this way you'll show up with so much more energy. This is where things start to change. You notice how I had to get a little bit crazy with stuff. So this is day 5, this is day 4. You're going to drop your water consumption down to 1 gallon of water during the day, and you're going to drop your coconut consumption down to half a quart, right? You're still going to eat an entire head of raw cabbage. You're still going to do 2 cups of plain Greek yogurt when you wake up and before you go to bed. But notice what isn't in there anymore. No more Epsom salt. In fact, you are going to start an extreme avoidance to any kind of salt. No salt in anything at all, period. That means no frickin' Gatorades, no Powerades, whatever. No, nothing. The only fluid that should be going past your lips is water. The only food that you should be eating is leafy greens and chicken, turkey, fish. You guys know what the lean proteins are, right? Now look, twice a day, again, not at the same time, you still have all of that other same stuff going. So what we're doing is we're dropping the weight, the amount of water down by 1 step. A gallon of water is still a pretty good chunk. It's still enough for your body to go, I'm freaking swimming in an ocean of water and I need to be shedding this crap, right? And you're still doing everything else that way. Pretty much everything that you stick into your mouth you're going to be crapping out, and it's going to be coming out pretty quick by this point. I hate to put it quite like that, but it's true because of the things that these twice a day things that you're doing is really going to have your body moving along pretty good. Now, day 3, notice. Day 4, day 3. These two really look the same. The only reason why they bounce around like this is that I have this salt avoid needs to be extreme, right? However, they're really the same thing. Day 4 and day 3 are just like day 7, day 6, and day 5. They were exactly the same. Okay, well, day 4 and day 3, they're exactly the same too. We're going to change things again a little bit. We're going to drop water down to just half a gallon and just a pint of coconut water. Everything else stays the same, right? You're just reducing your water consumption. That's all you're doing. You're going to drop it down to a half gallon. You still get to eat today. Okay, in fact, during all of these days, you get to eat, right? I actually want you to be eating. You just need to be eating leafy greens. And if if you're getting tired of eating like a rabbit, then throw in some broccoli, throw in some asparagus, but green vegetables. They must be green, right? And it needs to be a lot of them. If you really want to throw in something else for a little bit of variety, throw in some black beans or some pinto beans in there, but please not refried beans, actual whole beans, black beans, pinto beans, those kinds of things, right? And then, like I said, some really lean proteins. Day 1. Now, this is the day before weigh-in. You don't eat today. Nothing. Do not freaking eat today. The only thing you eat, the only thing that passes your lips is what you see on the screen right now. Nothing but what is on the screen should go into your mouth. At all. Period. Done. End of story. Notice that the entire water consumption is a single quart of coconut water, and that's it. Okay, it's not very much. You're basically not going to be doing a whole lot else but sipping water through the day. Okay, then you're still, the only thing that you should be eating is that one head of raw cabbage, nothing else, and the 2 cups of plain Greek yogurt when you wake up and before you go to bed. That is all. Then, of course, you're going to do the apple cider vinegar, the olive oil, the blackstrap molasses, and the aloe gel. Okay, these are the only things that go into your mouth today. Period. Done. You are going to be crapping like crazy still. You are going to probably feel light as shit. Okay, that's what we're going for. You're really going to be light. The only things you eat are these things. So what's going on is that we are slowly pulling down the amount of water by having your body basically flooded with water. We're letting your body know, hey, let's start getting rid of water. And because there's no salt, no carbs, no starches, no creatine, there's nothing in your body anymore that's trying to pull more water into the cells. Salt, carbs, starches, those things, because of the way the digestion process and everything works, it pulls more water into the cells, and that's exactly what we're trying to get rid of. So by eliminating all of those things, by starting this thing with a crazy, ridiculous, huge amount of water, as we get to the end, I'm not kidding, you're only drinking a quart of frickin' water on day 1, and you're still going to be going to the bathroom every 5 fucking seconds. No joke. So everything else that you're eating, especially on day 1, is nothing but a natural laxative designed to get things out of your freaking intestines, right? Weigh-in day. Okay, nothing, when I say sips, I'm not kidding. Nothing except just to keep your mouth moist. If you can stand to not drink any water at all, that's even better. I have had guys where I would have a spray bottle and I would just spray a little bit of water in their mouth to keep their mouth moist, because you will be dry. You will feel like you are a sponge that has just been wrung out way too freaking tight. Okay? When you're going to your weigh-in, you want somebody standing by with a quart or some really huge, like a 32-ounce thing of Gatorade or Powerade, whatever your sport drink of choice is. Seriously, I recommend sport drinks for immediately after weigh-in because they typically have a pretty decently high salt content, and you need to start putting salt back into your body along with water. So you step on the scale, you do your weigh-in, you step off, you grab that damn Gatorade or Powerade or whatever your thing is, and you suck that stuff down as fast as you freaking can. From this point on, you need to start drinking 1 quart of fluid an hour. I know that's a lot. If you can't stand it, if you're getting to the point where you're starting to feel bloated, well, then you slow down, right? But you got to remember that if we're doing this fairly early in the day, even if it's 10 a.m. or noon, right, and you can stand to drink a quart an hour, your fight probably isn't until 6, 7, 8 o'clock the next evening. So you have some time for that bloated feeling to go away, for your body to start moving that stuff around. And seriously, your body is going to start pulling those fluids out of your stomach quick because your body knows that it's dry. By using Gatorade or one of those kinds of guys with all that salt, it's not just pulling, the water is actually going all the way into your cells. You're starting to rebuild up muscle glycogen and all those kinds of good things again. So I want you to think about something. You just pushed 20 pounds of literal crap and water out of your body. So that means that in the next 24 hours before you do your fight, you need to replace all of that. You need to put everything that you lost back in. You need to put 20 pounds of food and water back in, right? But you just spent 7 days losing it all. You've only got 1 to put it all back. So you got to be kind of crazy with food. So that is why part of gaining it all back is you want to have a lot. You want your food as salty as you can stand it. In fact, what I say is make your food as salty as you can stand it, and then make it just a tiny little bit saltier than that, right? And carbs only. No proteins, no leafy green vegetables, carbs, 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 and more carbs. Basically, what we're doing is we're going to try and shove a bunch of energy into your body right before the fight. So remember, 1 quart of water or Gatorade an hour, no more, no less. Now listen, don't drink more than a quart. Don't think, oh, well, I'm so thirsty right now that I can drink 2 quarts. Don't do that. Your body isn't going to make use of it. It's just going to go right through you and do no good, and you're literally just flushing money down the drain. Once again, you can get this whole plan. It makes a little bit more sense when you see it written out by going to bit.ly/cuttingweight. When you go there, I'm also going, not only are you going to get this plan in PDF form, I'm going to explain how to gain 20 pounds of lean muscle mass in 30 days. This is how I get my guys to climb a weight class so that they're 20 pounds before, what I call walking weight. They're 20 pounds walking weight higher, and then they cut down 20 pounds. So that way they're literally climbing an entire weight class, and they're still monsters. I'll explain to you what are the best supplements MMA fighters should take, because God, if there is nothing I see that annoys me, it's seeing people taking frickin' Tribulus or some other dumb crap. There's so much dumb crap that I see in the supplement world anymore. I'll give you a guide on what's important, what works, and why you should be taking what and all that other kinds of good stuff. I'm also going to give you guys a training diet that will make you a monster. The diets of far too many MMA athletes are horrible. If you were to, and it's crazy to me because MMA is a ruthless, rough sport. But if you were to eat this way, if you think you could, most of these people I see the way they eat, it's like, dude, if you try to do this and you were playing football or basketball, you'd never make it. I don't know why some MMA guys think that they can, go around eating ice cream and cake and freaking hot dogs and hamburgers and shit all the way up to their fight. It's dumb as hell. I'm going to give you a training diet that will make you a lean, mean fighting machine. You'll go into a cage ripping people's fucking heads off. You'll get all of those things when you go to Cutting Weight on top of the PDF that explains this whole diet plan. And I think that's it.